Hey guys, how's it going? We have some garden maintenance that I need to get done today. Just a few minor things. We're still in the middle of a random heat wave and then we cool back down. So I'm trying to keep it mellow in the garden, not do anything too crazy. So let me turn the camera around, show you guys kind of what I want to tackle today. We're not doing any planting because it's terrible to do planting and transplanting things when we're in the 90s. Plants just go into too much of a shock and there is a chance that they won't survive, and I don't want to do that. So let me turn the camera around, show you guys what I would like to tackle today. It's really not a whole lot, but it'll be nice to get some things done. So the first thing that I'm gonna do today is cut back this dusty miller. It is super into the walkway. The walkway is right there, and all of these bloom spikes have popped up. In previous years, I've always left the bloom spikes because the bees typically love them. This year, I'm gonna cut them off. I have so many other flowers that the bees can go for that these, I want them gone. They always look messy when they bloom. I don't mind them when the blooms are kind of closed like this. I don't typically love the yellow blooms. These are them not even open all the way yet. But they're not super, I don't know, they're not really anything. They're not like a wow flower, so I might as well just cut them off. So I will shear it back and then it'll all look nice, like a nice little mound of like silver foliar growth. So I want to get that cut back. And then in there, I have some Japanese knotweed. I feel like maybe I had planted it at one point years ago and I still deal with it coming up. It's super invasive. I didn't know it was invasive when I planted it, and now I deal with it coming up every year. So I want to pull that up. I've got to pull off the bloom spikes from the Brunnera, and then just a couple. Oh, look. That was a hummingbird mating call. Oh gosh, they're flying all over right now. They're absolutely insane. They're all over the garden. It's really fun to watch them and hear them. They make this like buzzing sound when they do their mating calls. It's really interesting. Anyways, I've got to do those, and then I would like to do a few other things around the garden. So let's tackle this first, and then I'll show you what else I want to do. That looks a lot better, way more clean. I mean, that was pretty far out there. So it's all brought in, all the blooms are off, which is nice. It'll fill that back in, no problem. Probably in just a couple weeks, it'll fill it back out. I was thinking about doing something with this rose, like tying it up or something like that. It's got so many blooms on it. It's getting a little top heavy, I think. I think this might be a rose that maybe needs some type of support. And I didn't get rid of my super small trellis that I built. I built the three of them, that one, and then the small one. I ended up not getting rid of that one. And so now I'm kind of thinking, what if I put it in here and it could be a good support for this rose? So I'm thinking I might do that because this rose definitely needs something. Also in this bed, I need to take out one of these birch trees. One of them didn't make it, so it's dead. It is this one right here. It died. It's dead from here all the way up, and I don't feel like topping it. None of the branches like leafed out on it. So you can see these branches all have leaves on them, but these branches never woke up. They never broke dormancy. So this entire tree doesn't have a single branch that's alive on it. So I want to pull that one out, and I would like to, at some point, get another one. It's kind of late now. I might have to wait till next year or this fall or something like that. But I would like to plant another one in here, but if I do any digging, I feel like it's going to disturb the roots of a lot of this. So I don't know. We will see. But I do want to get the dead one out. So it is a bummer that that one died, but at least they're young, and I bought them bare root, and I think they were like 20 bucks a piece, 23 bucks a piece or something like that. So not bad. And there's always a chance with bare root that they do die. Usually most places, so these ones are a Dave Wilson variety of birch tree, and they're European white birch, but they're from Dave Wilson, and Dave Wilson has like a guarantee on their trees that they'll break dormancy. This one didn't break dormancy. And usually you can take them back to the nursery and they will either give you a credit for next year for a tree, or they will, I think, refund you. Not all nurseries do that. I got these ones from the Rock Garden and they do that on their bare root trees. I don't know. I'm not that worried about it. I might just go see if they have another one at some point and just pop it in the hole. But it does make me a little bit nervous to have to dig around and accidentally mess up the roots of the other trees or the yarrow or the salvia that are down there, because they all look really, really pretty. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's stake up that rose now. Well, that should be a lot happier like that now. It won't flop over. The stems will actually stay up now, which is good because they were starting to lean a little bit too much. This one's got a pretty big lean to it, but my thought is what I'll do is I will just take some twine and I'll just tie it into the obelisk, trellis, whatever we're calling it, our DIY. So I'll just tie that into there. And I did have like 1.5 branches that kind of broke, so all I did was I just snapped off the blooms, and then I just did that simple little flower float. That way I can at least appreciate the flowers inside for at least a couple days before they go bad, rather than just tossing them completely. Next step now is going to be pulling out this birch tree. Hurts my heart, but bummer. It's fine though. At least I'll still have 2 of them there for this growing season, and then hopefully I can find something young that I could put a 3rd one in there. I really want to do a cluster of 3 of them. I just think it's so pretty when you've got like the multi-trunk look of birch trees. And birch trees are ones that need a lot of water. These are European white birch. I'm in zone 9A, Northern California. They grow totally well for me. I've got 2 of them on my property already. I love the bark of them. I love the I don't know, the leaves when they move in the wind, they kind of like have a little shimmer to them. They're really interesting. So we can totally grow them if you're in my area, but you have to make sure they get plenty enough water. If they don't get enough water, they look crispy, they don't look good, and they fail. So European white birch, if you're in my area, you can totally grow them. Just ample water. They are thirsty, thirsty trees. So we got the tree out and you can see they are all dead branches. And when I go to scratch it, there's a little bit of green left in it, but it stops right there and you can see it is dead. So that's one way to tell if your tree is dying. You can see it starts to come to life there a little bit, but this tree, I would have to cut it in half, and I really don't want to do that. I'd rather just start fresh. I would have ended up having to cut it, and you can see it's slightly alive right there. You can see it's slightly alive right there. It's fully alive here, but I would have had to cut it back more than halfway, and I don't want to do that. And then I would have had to train a new leader, and it just kind of would have had like a weird little growth on it for a while. and that's just not something I want to do. So it's best to just start over on this one. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. So if you ever have some type of shrub or a tree or something that is struggling in your garden, just give it the scratch test. You just come along, scratch it. And if you see green in multiple spots, that's kind of excessive. That's probably a little bit too big. I would typically just go with like a small little piece like that. And you just scratch it. And if it's green, it's alive. If it's not green, it's dead. But you want to do it in multiple spots. This one, like I said, it was dead halfway down. And that's not good. So this one was already on its way out. And then when I pulled it out, there was like no roots on this thing. And I did notice some gopher activity in this area. So we deal with gophers pretty bad. It's really annoying. I guess it is what it is. Part of living in the country, I guess, next to orchards. So yeah, now I'm gonna cut back that Brunnera, and I'm also going to pull back the invasive knotweed because those also need to go. And then hopefully I can find another birch tree that is small like this one that I can just pop in that hole. So it's 2 days later. The allergies killed me, knocked me down for a couple days. I have never in my life dealt with allergies. It's been so bad. Okay, one time I dealt with allergies. It was really, really bad. And I was like a small child. I think I was in like 3rd grade. But after that, I never dealt with allergies. This year, terrible. I'm now having to take Claritin every single day. And I didn't take it for like 4 or 5 days. I was like, oh, look, I'm so much better now. I don't need to take it. I need to take it this morning. But after I had staked up the Rose of Sharon right here, I was like, I have to go inside. My face is swollen. My nose is plugged. I can't breathe. And I feel like I am dying. So anybody who deals with allergies, you have so much sympathy from me because it is not something that I remember ever dealing with until this year. I've been outside now for just a couple of minutes and my nose is plugged and my eyes are already starting to water. So I'm going to make this rather quick. I have 2 more things that I would really, really, really like to get done. Let me show you what else I want to get done in the garden. Well, first we got the birch tree done and then we had a crazy windstorm. So the birch trees are leaning. So I need to restake those. I will actually have Brent restake those so they're up straight. The Rose of Sharon right here, it was leaning so badly. It was basically laying on top of the gazebo that we have. And so now it is tied up straight and it's so much better. You could actually see back here. So the other thing that I want to do is I really want to remove, I've got this like grass thing back here. It used to be really pretty. Now I think it's got some type of disease or something to it. And it's no longer beautiful and I don't love it anymore. So I really do just want it gone. So I would like to pull all of that out today. I've had it for like 5 years, I believe, or something like that. And I think it's just kind of run its course. It's been 5 years in the garden and it's just no longer my favorite thing. It's no longer beautiful. I used to love to use them in flower arrangements. I would take off some of the leaves down here and I would use them at the bottom of vases that were clear to hide the stems. It was really gorgeous, but it's just not pretty anymore. And then the very last thing that I want to do is I want to remove this ajuga right here. It just kind of looks like a weed. So I don't love it. It needs to go. It's a more broadleaf one. I just want to pull it. I'd rather find some other flower or, I don't know, I want to find something else. It's not my favorite. It's gorgeous when it's blooming, and then it just looks like some type of ground cover weed, and I feel like I could find something that's blooming longer, looks better longer, and doesn't just look like, I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me. So I want to remove all of this today, and that is going to be it for this video so I don't blow up from allergies. I also really want to show you guys these alliums. I just keep giving you guys so many updates on them, but they're so gorgeous. Can you guys look at this? Isn't that so stunning? The bees are on this one right here. It's so cool. They just went to the other side, of course. Look at, see, there's a bee on there, but look at how big this is. Isn't that crazy? Oh, look, there's the 3 bees. Hi, guys. Isn't that amazing? I love these alliums so much, and next year I will be adding so many more. Hi. Hello. I'm obsessed with these alliums, and next year I would really, really like to have 20 of them, 30 of them. I want them in the big front bed, that big jelly bean bed. I think they would be spectacular there. I mean, I'm obsessed with the blooms. I have one that's teeny tiny, and I'm not sure why it's teeny tiny. There were supposed to be 4 of them, and 3 of them came up looking beautiful. So these are the Globe Master Alliums, and this one, I mean, you can see how tall it is. It's absolutely massive. It comes up to my chest. I'm 5'9", and oh, they're so magical. I wish that I had bought more of them, and I wish that I hadn't planted them like so far back in a bed. I wish I had planted them like kind of like right at the front of the bed. The foliar growth isn't anything special at all, but the blooms, stunning. That is so much better. I do plan to take out that arb. It's not growing as fast as I would like, and you can see how much dead there is down below compared to like that one that actually looks nice and full. So I do want to take that one out, and I want to replace it with some kind of tree that pretty much immediately has some type of impact. That is the hole that we were missing privacy. I did get that pulled out. It was I have the tag. I have the tag for it. It's a flax lily, Donatella variegated. This is what used to be really good, and I would label every single plant that we had in the garden. I no longer do that. I should probably get back to it. I used to love these copper plant tags. I think I would need to find something better. And we used the Garden Time garden marker on this, and this was written probably 4, maybe 5 years ago. So those Garden Time markers work really, really well. This is a copper tag, got these off Amazon. And I mean, it's been in the ground for like 4 or 5 years because that was a plant that I ended up getting for free. So I don't feel bad about taking it out. So it was a free plant. It served its purpose. And then we also had that tree root that was right there. When we first moved into the property, there was a tree that had been cut down and it had shot up some suckers. I think it was some type of crab apple, but I'm not entirely sure anymore. I mean, I never really knew what it was. But we left it in the ground, and what I did is I just drilled a whole bunch of holes into it, and then I poured Epsom salts into the holes so it would like kill the tree because it kept shooting up suckers every time I'd pop them off. So it took 2 years for it to stop shooting up suckers and to be able to rot enough that I just had to basically pop the thing out. And then in one section, I just had to use the Sawzall. But these plant tags are amazing. And I probably should go back to labeling a lot of my plants, especially like things that I know I'm going to forget what they're called. Like the arbovitas, I can't remember which ones I planted. These ones, I planted 2 smaller ones, and I can't remember the name of them. So I probably should order more of these because these little copper tags obviously have held up for many, many years. And they're they're easy. So let me show you guys the bugleweed that I pulled out. That was definitely the right decision. That just looks a lot cleaner, much happier with that. And now I can go in with something medium growing, and then I can go in with a nice ground cover. So I'm pretty pleased having that gone. I just think that's gonna be so much better. It was definitely the right decision to pull that out. It was something in my garden that I just felt was messy, and we don't keep things in our garden that we don't love. That is one of the biggest things that I try to preach is if you don't love it in your garden, take it out. It does not have to stay in your garden. You don't have to keep it just because you planted it. You don't always have to find homes for everything. There was no way I was gonna find somebody to come up and dig all the bugleweed or the Auga and take it and put it in their garden. It's a readily available plant. It's one that you can just find absolutely everywhere. And so for me, less headache to just toss it, throw it away, and find something else that I like. And then that lily, the Flax lily, I think it had ran its course. It's ran its course on its life. I think it was just done. It looked like it was struggling, and I think it might have been struggling also because it was planted next to the tree that was starting to decompose. But either way, I am glad that it is gone. It means that I can actually plant something there that will do better, and I can go ahead and I can pull that arb and I can put a tree there. Let me show you guys the hole and why I want to get something planted right there. So you can see, actually just even staking this up helped a ton with privacy, but there's a window right here. And if I plant this arb, if I take it out and I plant something, that will give us a little bit more privacy back here, which is exactly what I want. I want to be able to be in the backyard. Our neighbor's house is really tall, and so they're not watching us, but it feels like we could be, you know, like looked down on, and I don't love that. I want to be in the backyard and not have to worry about, okay, is somebody watching me film a video or not? But either way, the yard is looking good, except for my mess that I just made. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. We are making so much progress here. It's completely changed in just a matter of months. It's so insane. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was nothing too crazy. It was a lot of removal. Reminder, you don't have to keep something in your garden that you don't love. It's okay to get rid of it. People get mad at me about taking things out of my garden all the time, but that's gardening. Things come, things go. We put things in that we think we like. They grow up and we decide, wasn't the right plant. So this is your permission to take it out if you don't love it and not feel guilty about it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for visiting our garden, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.